Hey there, I'm Ben. Today, I wanted to take some time to walk through 5 AI tools that you can use to integrate into your business to help you get ahead of the competition in 2026. As an AI automation agency owner, I've talked with tons of businesses that really struggle to figure out where they should start when it comes to integrating AI into their backend. So I figured I'd make a video to walk through some of the most common pain points that they struggle with and some tools they can use to solve those. So without further ado, let's get started. The first pain point I'm going to talk about is going to be process documentation. As many of you know, it can be really annoying and it can take a ton of time to onboard your employees on new processes or SOPs that you have in your business. It takes a ton of the owner's time or the manager's time, and it can be really detrimental to productivity in that time, and it's very repetitive. So, the tool that we're going to talk about to help solve this is going to be Scribe. So Scribe is really cool because it basically allows you to capture your screen while you are walking through a process that you want to share with people, and it'll go ahead and it'll create a visual, guide of how to do it. It will take screenshots as you walk through it. It'll create steps for the process, and it allows you to then go ahead and share that with your employees or with whoever you want to share that process with. And it really automates the ability to build training docs and create SOPs so that you're no longer needing to walk employees through one by one and waste tons and tons of time doing that process. You can just do it once and then share it with all those people. So when it comes to pricing, you have four main options. You have a basic, a pro personal, a pro team, and an enterprise plan. The free version gives you basic utilization of it, so you can kind of test it out. Then you have a pro personal and pro team. These basically allow you to customize it with your branding. You can edit and redact screenshots, and then you can export the PDFs, HTML, or Markdown files. And the pro team basically just allows you to collaborate with your team, so you can add comments, if somebody else has some notes they want to talk about the specific process. Then you have the enterprise plan, which allows you to have a little bit better advanced security and compliance. So if you are a healthcare company or you have some sort of, PHI data that is sensitive, you can go ahead and it'll auto redact that as well. So overall, definitely a very useful tool if you deal with onboarding employees a lot or if that takes a lot of your time. The next pain point we're going to talk about is going to be manual workflows. A lot of times when it comes to onboarding clients or going through, your business process, you have a lot of manual tasks that you need to manually do in order to, get a client up to speed or to actually get paid out. And this can be really annoying when you're having to repeat the same um, processes over and over and over again, and it just takes hours and hours of your time. So a tool that we can use to help solve some of these is going to be make.com, which is a no-code automation tool. So make.com is really cool because it allows you to basically visually build, an automation that walks through a manual task that you might need to complete. So, for example, if you have a CRM and when you adjust a client inside of that CRM, and maybe you needed to create an invoice that was personalized to them, what you could go ahead and do is make an automation inside make.com that connects to your CRM. Let's say that's monday.com. And then you could connect it to ChatGPT so that it'll go ahead and it'll create a proposal based off of, a prompt that you make and all the information from your CRM. So it really allows you to connect to a lot of these tools that you already use and just automate the process instead of having to manually go back and forth between them. So when it comes to pricing, you have a few different options. Really, the main difference between these is, functionality when it comes to having multiple people working on the same project, as well as a couple different things with, functionality if you need custom variables, things like that. Really, the most important thing is the number of credits that you buy. When it comes to credits, basically how it works is, let's say you have a scenario where you have 3 modules. You have your CRM module that connects to that when you make a change. Then you have your ChatGPT one that takes the information and creates a proposal. Then you have a Gmail module that sends that proposal to your client or whoever. In order to run that scenario, it's going to cost 3 credits, one for each of those modules in the workflow. So if you have a lot of modules in your scenario, it can get really expensive really quickly. So one thing to note is you can buy, however many credits you need per month, and that can just add on to, the specific plan you have. So you're not limited by what plan you use if have the pro or team or enterprise plan, and you could pay however many credits you need. But that is kind of one of the cons, I guess, is it can be expensive if you have very advanced workflows. There's some other tools out there like N8N where you can actually locally host it on your own computer. It is open source. That one's a little bit more of an advanced tool. So, I might talk about that later, and we do use that a lot. But when it comes to just simplicity and really just integrating AI quickly, make.com is definitely the tool for you. The next pain point I want to talk about is in regards to note taking for meetings. So, oftentimes you are working with a client and you're working on a project and you have some follow up meetings when it comes to some sort of revisions or edits that you're making to make sure that they are happy with whatever service you're providing. And a lot of the times, if you are taking notes with pen and paper or you have a Google Doc that you're recording these things on, it can be very burdensome if there are a lot of things you need to record, and it can be very annoying just to, maybe you miss some things and your attention isn't fully on what they're talking about and thinking about, how you can fix things. So this next tool is Firefly's AI, and it basically transcribes that audio, and it allows you to just automatically get a summary about the project. So this tool is really cool because it automatically will join your Zoom or Google Meet meetings, and basically will act like a little person that's there, and it'll record the entire transcript of the bot. It can also download MP3 files. So let's say you had you had a meeting on Zoom that you recorded, and you have the MP3 or MP4 file. You can automatically just upload that, and it will actually transcribe the entire meeting, and it'll create a little summary section, which is super cool. So as you can see in this little overview, you'll get a little overview. It'll break it down into some notes as well as have a transcript that you can actually play through. So super, super valuable and really easy to be able to integrate. When it comes to the pricing for Fireflies, you have a couple different options. You have the free Pro Business and Enterprise plan. The main difference between these is the number of AI summaries and the number of minutes you get for storage per seat. So you do get credits for actually transcribing your meetings into an actual AI summary, but you will get a number of minutes for the transcription. So if you have a meeting that's 30 minutes long, it'll only take up 30 minutes of that storage. So if you need more, you can obviously do the pro version. You'll get unlimited AI summaries and 8,000 minutes of storage. And then with the business one, you get some other options like video recording, conversational intelligence, some team analytics. And then with the enterprise plan, you get things again if you need that HIPAA compliance and some other data kind of security measures. But definitely the free version is super easy, to at least test it out. If you are interested in it, you get 800 minutes, which is a lot unless you have a lot of meetings every day. But for the most part, I'd say this is definitely good for starters, just to test it out. And again, $10 per seat is really not that much either as well. The fourth pain point that I want to talk about is in terms of customer support. So a lot of times if you have an e-commerce business or you're dealing with a lot of clients on a day-to-day basis, maybe you have a chatbot on your website, it can be really annoying to have to, manually reach out to them, or if you kind of have an automated chatbot already, it can really suck when they have a question that doesn't match any of the FAQs or the predefined answers, and they need a little bit extra help. And again, like a lot of people know, time is the most important thing when it comes to responding to people. You want to be as quick as possible. So that's where this next tool comes in, Chatbase. It basically allows you to integrate AI into your chatbots and customer service. So Chatbase is a really cool tool because it allows you to basically build out an AI agent that you can connect and embed on your website really easily. And you can have a knowledge base so you can help train it on your website on a bunch of different documents, and have it connect to other tools that you utilize as well, so that your agent and your chatbot is actually intelligent on your site or wherever it's interacting, and you aren't limited to these really mundane and generic responses. When it comes to the prices are definitely a little bit more expensive than some of the other tools we talked about, but it is a nice, kind of complete tool that is really easy to just get up and going. And you don't really need a lot of extensive background knowledge to be able to set it up and have it work fairly well. So we have the free, hobby, standard, pro, and enterprise plan. Basically, the main difference between these is the number of agents you get and the number of credits, as well as some access to some advanced models. So it's kind of cool with the hobby version and up. You can access, so you can use, like I think OpenAI, Claude's model. You can use like Gemini. You can use all these different AI models, and you aren't just limited to just ChatGPT, which is nice if you need some of that customization. But for the most part, it's not a huge thing unless really like a specific model. But again, you also get an increase in the number of seats, as well as some advanced analytics and things like that. But again, if you just want to test it out, the free version is 100% doable. It lets you integrate with some of your other tools, if you have some CRM software, things like that that you utilize, or you need some more custom things with like API access. And then you can embed it on your website, which is awesome. But yeah, definitely a super useful tool and really nice if you have an e-commerce website or something where a lot of clients have traffic and they need questions to be asked that, a normal FAQ is not able to do. The final pain point that I want to talk about is when it comes to having, a bunch of different softwares you use for your company and they're all kind of not interconnected very well. And you're paying for a ton of subscriptions and things like that. And, maybe they aren't all very easy to integrate with AI. And that's where Notion comes in. It basically allows you to condense all those tools together to be able to, utilize them and have AI connect to them, very seamlessly and very easily. So Notion is really cool because it's basically like a blank canvas where you can do a lot of different things with it and really connect a lot of different kind of things together. For example, right, you can connect knowledge bases, you can manage projects, you can connect with sites, things like that. You have agents that can handle manual tasks and things like that, similar to kind of what Make does. But there's really a lot of freedom that you can use to really customize it to your specific needs. A lot of the times, there might be some sort of software that you're currently using when it comes to maybe a CRM or something like that, where, it might be rigid and you might want some sort of functionality that you can't do, with it. And that's kind of where Notion comes in. It tries to be a blank canvas that you can really, adjust and customize to your specific use case. You can make dashboards, you can automate these repetitive tasks. There's a tons and tons of things you can do. And, maybe I'll need to make a video on this another time. But it's super customizable and very easy to upgrade. So when it comes to pricing, the main difference really comes down to the amount of integrations that they have. So for the free version, you just get the basic Notion calendar and the basic forms. You can sync with Gmail, which is kind of cool. But then you have the Plus and Business, where you then get access to connecting in with integrations with things like Slack, Gmail, Google Drive, and then with the Business, you get GitHub, and then Microsoft and some other tools as well. And then the Enterprise, again, mainly just about security and compliance, things like that. So Notion is definitely the tool you want to use if you really need maximum customization for your software that you're trying to use, and you want to have a home base where everything's connected. So again, if you really value that customization, Notion is that tool. So overall, this is kind of just a quick little overview of some of these tools that can allow you to integrate AI into your business in 2026 to stay ahead of the competition. Obviously, we didn't go super deep into any of these tools. If you are interested in one of them, please drop a comment below and I can make a more in-depth video at a later date. Also, if you need help integrating AI into your business and you don't want to do it yourself, you'd like a company to do it, would absolutely love to help you. So, visit our website and schedule a consultation with BRK Digital. We can help, add some AI automation to your business. But yeah, please like, subscribe, and comment if you have an idea for another video.